بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. Esteemed brothers and sisters, dearest viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are very safe and very fortunate. We have braved the weather. It's quite rainy today, and we have come together. That shows something very positive on our part. That we have left our homes and we left our work and we left our comfort zones and ventured here. I hope we will give it the consideration it deserves, that the drive here and the drive back will be more than worth it. I have been talking with myself and talking loudly enough that those of you in the hall and those of you at home and in office who will able to view this video would able to understand what went on today in terms of our effort to review and recapture the gems that have been revealed about 1500 years ago to the beloved Prophet Muhammad, and the textbook that he used to transform the pagan Arabs and people beyond their area to civilize human beings who brought tremendous positive impact and influence on society. And you will recall I was saying that the beloved Prophet came like all other messengers, and he found society full of activity. And if we look at our society, we see there is no shortage of activity. In fact, the average person could tell you and me, or we could tell the average person, I am so busy, I don't have time. So there is no difference here in terms of activity. We continue to follow our forefathers in being active. And being active can be a positive thing, or it can also be a very tedious thing, or something that robs us in the long run. I only hope that every day we are able to take time off from our busy schedule and review the multifarious activities that we somehow get involved in from the time we get up from our bed until we are forced to go back into it. So the society of the Prophet was full of activity. And when society is full of activity, there will always be people who are mobilizing the activity, generating the activity, directing the activity, setting the pace, setting the standards, trying to influence others into which direction they should travel, into how they should spend their time, into what. I guess we're living in a consumer world, into what we should consume, what we should eat, what we should wear, where we should go and what we should do. So in the society of the Prophet, there were activists. There were people who were very ambitiously concerned about the direction of the society, the masses especially. And one of the activists in the society of the Prophet, the Qur'an told us, is what is described as a kafir. Now you will recall last week I mentioned that when you look at the Qur'an very deeply, you will see divine scripture is a masterpiece of human behavior. The Qur'an is a masterpiece of human psychology. That's more than saying it in simple words. It's all about how the minds of human beings behave. And thus it is a book of human behavior. It's not really about cows or about camels or about sheep or about goats or about plants. It's really about human psychology. It's about what influences the mind positively and what influences the mind negatively. So the kafir represents a certain mind frame or a certain frame of mind of a particular individual or individuals. A kafir does not have a particular shape as a human being. A kafir does not have a particular dress as a human being. A kafir does not have a particular nationality. A kafir does not have a particular ethnicity. A kafir does not reside in a particular geography. A kafir is somebody whose mind leads him or her to behave in a certain manner. So, we are living in an age of the mind. And unless we be concerned about this, it is quite possible we could follow weak minds. We could follow minds that are on a different tangent with regards to divine guidance. And last week I mentioned a few points of the kafir, and I will recap them and then add to them. The popular norm of a kafir with the Muslim community at large is a simple one. The average Muslim perceives himself or herself as a Muslim. And they perceive anybody else who is not a Muslim is a kafir. And I mentioned that that's not the image in the Qur'an. The Qur'an does not tell you and me because we make certain claims or assume certain assumptions or entertain certain beliefs or dress in a particular manner, and because this is very popular, that it means our definition of a Muslim is correct. So, the idea that anybody who is not a Muslim is a kafir, from the popular definition, is not something that the Qur'an supports. Because I told you linguistically, a kafir is an activist. A kafir is not about somebody who 20 years ago behaved in a kufr manner. Because if you and I hold on to that, oh, 20 years ago that person did that.